Hello! And it is that time of year again when we're all dreading the day when we have to get up earlier than 9 o'clock, put on clothes that we don't want to wear and go out in the weather and socialise with people. It's time to go back to school! So today I thought I'd make a video talking about some of the positives and the negatives about going back to school. And I have always loved school growing up. I'm quite good at revising and I quite enjoy education as a concept, but I don't think anybody likes the fact that you get shipped off to a building where you have to stay and you have no choice for like 7 hours with people that you may or may not like every day for 40 weeks. So now I'm obviously not at school anymore, but I am at college, so that does involve me still going to my school every day. So I still see all the people at my school, I just don't wear the uniform. Yes. So I thought I'd start off by talking through some of the things that you might consider.
Why did you get another candle?
Because I like candles. Put the telly control back on top of my book. That's it. So I thought I'd talk about some of the things that we might consider negatives to the going back to school process. So, firstly, that moment when you get into the classroom and they say, right, note this down, and you think to yourself, I don't know how to write. There is no situation over the holidays where you would need to write an essay. Unless you're doing summer work, obviously, but unless all of your friends' birthdays are in the summer, in which case you'd have to write like several birthday cards, you will not have written. And I always forget that. Planning this video, making notes, I don't know how to write. It is abysmal. It's embarrassing. And I think it's surprising how long it takes to get back into that flow of just knowing how to be literate. Another thing that I find when we go back to school is that I find it really hard to concentrate for longer than maybe two or 3 minutes in the classroom after I've had so much time just to do whatever I want. And you don't have to concentrate at home because I could just get up right now and walk over there and nobody's going to tell me off. So yeah, you need to sort yourself out and get back in the zone, but that takes a few days. And luckily you have that day at the beginning of term where you have to go into assembly. Another negative that I struggle with it every year. And to be honest, every time we go back to school after a holiday, not even the summer, even just having 1 week off, I can be at school for about half an hour and I am just so hungry and I have to wait another 2 hours before I can eat anything. And it's horrible. It's like torture to go from eating everything and anything whenever you want to restricting when you can eat. My body can't cope with it. I just feel like I'm going to pass out or something. Or you can try and be one of those sneaky people who like eats under the table or something, but I was never brave enough to do that. Something that I don't have a problem with anymore, but something that I used to hate, was putting on the cold, uncomfortable uniform that you have to wear every day. You have to wear it when it's cold, you have to wear it when it's way too hot, and it's disgusting. It is disgusting, and you get judged for it, and you get told off if you don't wear the right brand of something, and you can't have your makeup how you want it. And you can't have your makeup how you want it, you can't have your hair, I don't dye my hair, but can't have your hair how you want it, or your piercings, and as well as kind of seeing where they're coming from, I think it just puts everybody in a much worse mood about going back to school, that I don't know how they can expect to have hundreds of happy pupils when they're being so restricted on what they can actually do at school. As I mentioned earlier, I despise assemblies. One, because you can't get out, and that freaks me out big time, that you can't get out of the room without making a massive display. Two, my mind wanders. It can be the most interesting assembly ever, but if there is something on the wall, I will think about that. I don't know. But yes, the assemblies where they try and motivate you to be the best you can be, and all you can think is, when is lunch? Maybe it's just me, I don't know. And finally, the one thing that I despise more than anything about school, that makes my stomach churn, is the concept of exams. And especially now, I know that I will not be in school for more than 5 minutes before that I get, "Your exams are soon," thrown in my face. And then my mood just goes like this. But there are also positives to going back to school, and I've made a few notes about them, but I'm sure as soon as I get there I will remember a lot more of them. So one of the first things that I think is a positive of going back to school is you get to see your friends. Now, you will obviously have seen your friends in the holidays, but your friends. But you get to be around those like-minded people without having to organise something, which I see as positive. On the same type of topic, a new year brings new people. Now this can be a good thing or a bad thing. As well as having a whole new year group of people to socialise with, you also get a couple of people from different schools to join your school in your year. So that means you could possibly have new friends. And having new friends is always a good thing, because you will meet people that you never thought you'd be friends with last week, but next week, the world is your oyster. On the same level as new things, my favourite part about going back to school is the stationery and having new pens and a new pencil case and new paper and new colourful pens and a new ruler. I don't need a ruler anymore for anything that I do, but a new ruler. And then you get to go into your lesson and you sit down and you get all your new things out and you're like, yes, I can do this. I can do this with my new pens. And yes, that for me that is a very good feeling, but I don't know. Also, another thing that I obviously don't encounter anymore, but something that I used to love, was getting a new pair of school shoes and wearing them on the first day. I am the worst person for shopping for school shoes because it just took weeks. And me and my mum used to go on several trips. My sister would just take like maybe 10 minutes in the shoe shop and she'd find the one she wanted, but I'd have to go on several trips because I was just so stubborn, and I knew what I wanted, and if I couldn't find it, I wouldn't have anything else, because I just knew that if I didn't have those shoes, I wouldn't be happy with my school uniform for a term, and that's a pretty big deal because it's pretty awful already. So if I can't even have the shoes that I have the idea about, then it's just downhill from there, really, isn't it? Another thing, which sounds a bit deep, but it's not really, I'm not really being deep about it, is that you get so many new opportunities when you go back to school. In my first year at school, took part in the school show, but that was about it. I didn't really... It wasn't really until year 11 that I actually branched out into other things at school, which I regret so much, because as soon as you do that, you meet so many new people that obviously you've never encountered naturally at school because you kind of stick to your year group and things. But so many new people that you just get on so well with, and I've made so many friends that I never thought I'd make. Okay, so basically my camera ran out of storage and then the Tesco shop came and then the dog barked and it all got a little bit hectic, so where was I? So basically, yeah, by getting involved in different clubs and things at school, I managed to make so many new friends. And it's also really good to put things like that on your personal statement and your CV and things. So a new year brings new opportunities for everybody to better themselves. It gives you a second shot at your New Year's resolution. So yeah, basically, the main positive aspect to going back to school is that it is a new year and you can start everything fresh and you can make the most of it. And I think in order to make the most of it, you need to try your hardest, but you also need to make sure you have fun. And if that means taking up a new hobby, joining a new club, joining a new team, or maybe just making the effort to do more with your friends and making memories, because your time in school is so short. And I know it consumes your life so much at the moment that it feels like there is nothing after. But I have 8 months left of school until that's it, and I move out, hopefully, and I move out, and then that's it for school. And this little cubby hole of safeness that you have had for the last 14 years of your life is gone, and suddenly you're on your own. And I don't know, some people might be excited about the prospect of having complete and utter freedom to do everything independently, but I think the child inside of me is honestly a little bit scared about that. But yeah, so that's why I'm going to make the most of my last year, and I know a lot of it is going to be working really hard, but school is only 9 till 3, then that's it. Have the whole morning, you have the whole evening, and I want to make the most of my evenings and make the most of the time that I still have here at home before everything changes. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope everybody has a great first day back, and I will see you next week with a new video. Bye!